Trauma has come up in a lot of conversations. And what is trauma? We all know it intuitively, but the core of trauma is where you feel that something of your dignity has been violated and that you have been powerless to, in one sense, not be able to change the harm that has come. So that experience of violation and powerlessness often brings a sense of shame. It's so important to have clarity as to what happens in the human heart as a result of experiencing any short-term, so-called simple, or even long-term trauma. There are three core things that occur for the human heart. First of all, when we experience trauma, our left hemisphere, particularly what's called our Broca's area language, goes offline. Think about that. When you're in trauma and you begin to fragment because you can't think as well as you might be able to, you have a hard time knowing how to engage what you're actually enduring. A second huge effect is that you are numb. You feel overwhelmed and your emotions shut down. And in that sense of, I can't feel because there's too much happening in my body, it leaves us feeling isolated. Those are three core issues. We fragment, we get numb, and we isolate, which compounds the trauma by creating, in one sense, new trauma. And so when we are in a traumatized state, if we don't have a community around us that can help us cohere our thinking, at least over time, we're going to be in that fragmented state, which means it's even harder to remember what happened. We can't deal with it in the past because the fragmentation leaves us with that sense that we have shards of memory rather than the ability to actually engage what indeed happened. So when we go numb, oftentimes we lose a sense of hope, the ability to move into the future with risk and courage. And therefore, as a result, we even feel more shame. And so core to our experience of trauma is that we feel shame for what occurred. How heartbreaking that when someone gets harmed, that the byproduct, fragmentation and numbness, leads to that sense of shame, which now we isolate and feel invisible. This is why it is core that we have language, that we have a community, and that we have an opportunity to hold these experiences together for the sake of healing.